Welcome back, guys, to CFL Central, CFL content for the fans, by the fans, and we have our review of Week 13. And Rick is laughing at me because I have now fucked up the intro 3 times, but we're rolling with this last one. And so we got 4 games coming at you. All of them pretty interesting games. Some of them more frustrating than others, but we'll get
I
into that.
I honestly think this is the week that we both went 500
Did we go 500?
because we both picked the Ticats, we both picked Winnipeg.
We both picked the
Oh no,
Elks.
so we went 1-3 this week.
Did we? I think we went fucking 25%. This was a bad week for us, Rick. This was a bad week. If there's anyone here
Hopefully,
that watches these videos that hates us, you're gonna love the fact that we are wrong about most of these. So that's the thing. At the end of the day, as much as we are fans that know things, we are swayed by our personal opinions. I'm obviously always going to take the Bombers. You're obviously always going to take the Ticats for the most part, and we're not, and we make mistakes. We didn't get it right, and it is what it is. But let's get into the first game. So we have the BC Lions beating the Montreal Alouettes by a score of 34-25. And from what I'm hearing, we got Greg Ellingson back for this game, but it sounds like he's going to be out once again. Isn't that right, Rick?
so we got the Vernon Adams back that we all know and are aware of. 304 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks.
Yeah. We didn't
I
have
mean,
the I'm learning from my backup Dane Evans version of Vern Adams. We got the Vernon Adams.
And it seems like Hollins is still continuing to showboat and show that he is the top receiver in Vancouver.
Well, there you go.
Because
Well,
he once again has 2 touchdowns and 86 yards.
excellent, excellent stuff. Because I mean, like if we look at this a bit, we can see that. So first quarter, Lions are up 7-6 over the Alouettes, and then they kind of extend on that in the second quarter. Third quarter, they tie, going touchdown apiece with Convert. Then the Lions beat them again in the fourth quarter, 10-6. So it's one of those things where the Alouettes don't win a single quarter of football in this entire game. They lose 3 of them and they tie one. That's not going to get you. That's not going to get you a win. You got to have at least one of those quarters where you're able to dominate and really make up some ground against your opponents. Otherwise, you're always just going to be getting beat in. And so it's one of those things where Cote has a decent game, gets himself a 23-yard field goal, as well as a 42 in the first quarter. Second quarter gets himself another 40 with a 16-yarder for a field goal. So a lot of work for Cote. He would go for the 27-yard field goal in the third quarter, but he would miss this one, and it would be a dead ball. He'd be getting a rouge, got the single point there. And then later on, William Stanback, we get the rushing touchdown, and because they got a passing touch.
69 yards.
Yeah, I got a 68 yard run here for Stanback that I see. So yeah, I mean, Alouettes, they get two
Oh, what?
touchdowns in this game, a lot of field goals, and it's one of those things where you wonder if, like, thing is that if they connect on one more of these, drives, get themselves a touchdown, and Cote doesn't miss that kick. I mean, we're talking about an Alouettes win here. So it's one of those things where it really shows that the Alouettes just got to get some of the small things put together, and drive that ball a little bit further and just pick up a little bit more each play, in order to get that win. But they're not able to get it done. Lions defense shuts them down, and really because the Lions defense is the most capable defense in this entire league, and it's one of those things where it finally seems like we get to see a bit of that, in the sense of, I mean, 25 points, only 14 of those coming from touchdowns. Everything else is all field goals. So good on the Lions at least to keep them out of the red zone and keep them kicking.
So BC had 6 sacks on Fajardo. Not doesn't surprise us.
That sounds like a Montreal Alouettes O-line to me.
Austin Mack had 1 touchdown and 143 yards.
Ooh, fancy.
And for some reason, this game started the trend of having a receiver throw a pass.
Throw a
As
forward
you,
pass.
I don't know if you guys did it in your game. Toronto did it against Hamilton.
No, I saw that
Edmonton,
AJ Ouellette had done his, and that they had done that in the, I believe it was the Edmonton Calgary game, but it
and
did
then
not happen in
Kyron Moore did it
Kyron
in
Moore.
the Edmonton
Yeah, no, it
game
did
as well.
not. It did not happen in the Bombers Riders game. We just decided we forgot to shut down the third string quarterback that was starting for Saskatchewan. But overall, so not much more for me to say about this game, and this would be a 34-25 victory for the Lions. Now the second game of this week, I drove
Oh.
all the way to Regina for this game for my very first Labor Day Classic. And I gotta say, so first things first, it was one of the things, and this is important to mention. The Saskatchewan Roughrider fans were very good hosts here. They were very respectful. There was a lot of friendly banter. Although I gotta say, when this game got near the end, there was two fans in front of me that were crazy, like just wild. And one of them was just kind of the follower, but then the other guy, you could tell he was coming up with the crazy stuff. So like our offense would be up, and he would stand up. He'd be like, "Why are you guys so loud? We were so quiet." You like in a sarcastic way, and he's like, "Settle down!" Like he's getting them. And I love because the Bombers go up with like 3 minutes left. And there's about 20 Rider fans who go to leave to beat the traffic. And they just start chanting, "Beat the traffic! Beat the traffic!" As these Rider fans are walking up. Which and the best thing ever, if you go to a Bomber game and you're in one of the end zone seats, you know that one of the things that happens is when the Bombers get a touchdown, the mascot of whatever the fuck that company is comes out and he throws the little foam footballs into the crowd, and you can get one like one of those plush ones for your kids or whatever. Well, these guys had brought little tiny mini footballs, and when the Bombers got in a touchdown, they just started
Hold on.
throwing them.
Give me 1 second. Continue to talk.
Yes, but it was just it was an absolutely great time, and it was one of those things where um, Rider fans were all great sports about it, and we made sure that they didn't go a little too far. It was overall, it was one of those things. Yes, those things, exactly that. They didn't bring those to the stadium. They brought like really mini ones, but that's the ones you would see at Bomber games essentially. Good on you finding that. But yeah, it was one of those things where. So what did we talk about in this game? First things first. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers decided to do absolutely fucking nothing for the first half of this game, with the exception of one drive. And I remember I was talking to someone who was like, "Well, are they really capable of dominating the way you say?" I don't know. They made 3 passes and went down the whole fucking field. You tell me. You tell me if they're capable.
Oh.
Brady Oliveira was a tank from start to finish this game. He is now at 990 yards this year in the CFL, and the next closest guy is in the 700s, and not even the high 700s, the low 700s.
And I forgot how this game started off with like the shortest kick.
With the fucking onside kick. Holy shit. I'm so mad that Dave Dickinson came up with a good idea for once, and it had to be against us. Like, not gonna lie.
First off, that's
like
great.
That's a great, honestly, that's a great play. And the reason why is because the onside kick is one of the hardest things to pull off, because when you're gonna pull it off, typically, is when a team is expecting it. When they know you need points, so they know you're gonna go for that short kick and you're gonna try to get it. Thing is, they catch us totally off guard, and I literally look at my brother and I'm like, "You fucking see this shit? Fucking start of the game with an onside kick." Now, thankfully, the Bombers would push them to a 2 and out. But I was like, And so we have Walker as our returner. Why in the flying fuck are we sending McRae down onto the practice roster? I do not understand that. Like, why is Walker our returner here? Like, he's not like terrible, but if McRae's an option, this should be a no-brainer. Like, McRae's a better returner head and shoulders above Walker. Like, no offense, but like we're talking about like a guy like, and like, to be fair to Walker, he was getting pretty much no blocks in front of him. But McRae, with like maybe one or two blocks tops, literally runs about 10 yards or like 20 yards to the side, runs about 80 yards down, going diagonally, so he probably actually ran closer to 100 yards in terms of how much he actually ran, and then got tackled and evaded like 8 tackles. This is the guy we sent down to the practice roster. So why the hell is McRae down there? It just doesn't make sense to me. I don't get it. I think it's a bad decision. And Walker got better as the game went on because he made the mistake of letting the ball go over his head, and so then for the rest of the game, he started quite a bit further back so he would run up into it. But it was one of those things where, like, he's going to do what he's going to do, but why is he playing? McRae was dressed. He was there. I don't get it. So there's all that doesn't make any lick of sense. Then we would finally start to get something going. And the Bombers would have really, like, start to play pretty decently solid with a decent third quarter and a good fourth quarter, which is exactly what they needed to force an overtime. However, before we get to overtime, we have I think it's Robertson deciding to pull quite a dirty headbutt on Caleros after the play. It was one of those things where if you watch the video, it's like, what the fuck was the point in that? There was no provocation, no nothing. And he decides to do this. And since then, he's been suspended 1 game. I think you can make an argument it should be 2 or 3. It is what it is. I'll take the 1. But the thing is that I remember there was a lot of Rider fans that were really upset about it that were at the stadium. And it's funny because they're all like, this is ridiculous. He flopped. And I remember thinking in my head, yeah, I wonder why they're not showing the replay. It's maybe because it's really damning. That was one thing I noticed at Mosaic Stadium. The Riders would not want to show the replay when it made them look bad. And the plays, because they'd be there'd be a play and all the fans would be like, oh, what the hell is this? And I'm thinking, if we showed the replay, it would be, oh, that's why it is. But nope, didn't do that. But so there were some people asking or saying Caleros flops. First off, do I think he does? I don't think he does. However, let's assume he does. Doesn't matter. Does not matter one bit. Reason. Guy makes contact with Calero's head after the play. Doesn't matter if he flops. He makes contact with his head after the play. Football is a sport where head injuries are commonplace, and so head injuries are considered to be taken, are generally tried to be taken a lot more seriously than in some other sports. So it's one of those things where, like, he earned an automatic suspension with what he did. Although I will say credit to him for owning up to his mistake and apologizing it. Just because some players won't. Garrett Marino. But just wondering. So, actually, I guess before I ask you about this, we're going to go into overtime, where the Riders slowly but surely move their way in. They get themselves a touchdown, and they get the 2-point convert. However, there's only one problem with this 2-point convert. That ball totally touches the ground. I'm sorry. If you look at the replay, ain't no fucking way that's a catch. However, it was counted. Now, my question is, why in the flying fuck is this not reviewed? Because how do I know this wasn't reviewed? Because the Bombers play started like 10 seconds later. We immediately started right afterwards. So I don't get it. Because the thing is that in the CFL, any play under the last 2 minutes, any touchdown, is reviewed. So the question is, why isn't the convert in the overtime? Why does that not extend into overtime? I don't get it. Um, it is what it is. However, I would say Caleros with the beautiful pass to Kenny Lawler, who just said, like, oh, first down, fuck the first down. We're getting the touchdown, baby. And then they go in to get the 2-point convert. Ball gets tipped. Doesn't make it to Drew Wolodarski or Dalton Schoen. I can't remember which one it was. Bombers lose. Now, is that 2-point convert bullshit in overtime? Yes. It should absolutely not have counted. Am I going to say that's why we lost this game? No, we didn't play the first whole fucking half of this game. Like, you can't expect a win like that. It's one of those things where it's like, if we can play, like, if this is how it's going to be playing half a game, oh boy, if we're prepared come Banjo Bowl, and Zach Caleros looks pissed off. If you watch that post-game interview with him, I'm like, oh, this is the man that looks like he's going to be, like, just throwing long bombs next week. So I hope we get the Zach Caleros revenge tour next week at IG Field. Now, I've been rambling on for a while, and I need to ask my friend who has a bit of a receding hairline. I don't know if it's as much as mine. About his
I
thoughts
just
on the
forgot to
game.
grab my hat. So, first off, correction. You are so flabbergasted. You said Dave Dickinson. It's Craig Dickinson.
Craig Dickinson. Sorry, I get my Dickinsons wrong. They both fucking suck. Doesn't matter.
Also, Dembski. What is with him getting 100-yard games? Like,
What?
he's on the most fire right now.
Because he's a consistent, excellent receiver. Simple fucking answer.
Well, I mean, it would help if he got a touchdown, but he didn't get a touchdown.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that could have helped us this game, Rick. He's one of the Oak Park boys. Him and Harris, Oak Park. I'm not from Oak Park.
And then apparently, depending on what Rider fan you listen to, they say that the defensive player named Big Hill, when he runs for short yardage, he likes to lead with his head. I don't know how truthful it is. I've never seen that before, so I don't know.
No, and I'm gonna say no, and here's why. In short yardage, so first off, I'm gonna assume they mean defending short yardage, and the Riders.
Okay, fair enough.
Because we're talking Big Hill, defensive player. Big Hill, if you've ever noticed, Big Hill, literally his whole play is that he jumps over the pile. There's actually, if you're in the CFL subreddit, you've actually probably seen memes about this because it's been memed on big time. Like that meme format from The Simpsons of the guy like smashing through the window. And it would be like absolutely no one, short yardage, and then it would just say Adam Bighill, and it's the guy smashing through the window. So it's one of those things where he does that every play, but he doesn't really lead with his head. I mean, obviously his head is forward because he's lunging forward, but I mean he's leading with his head as much as I don't think it's fair to count that really as leading with his head. As look at everyone else on that play. He's essentially doing the same thing anyone else is. Lunging forward, hands out, whether you're the O-line trying to push it back to get that yard, or whether you're the D-line looking to stop them in their tracks. So it's one of those things where I don't think I think it's kind of a meaningless complaint. And that shows by the fact that he didn't get any penalties called against him in that game. So
the only thing that I have to say about the Saskatchewan that really, really makes me nervous is, Joel Agala threw 326 yards, but he had no touchdowns. How is that going to win you games? Pipkin had 2 rushing touchdowns, but I mean, that's 14 points.
it's one of those things where I'm fucking mad. I'm mad that we lost to fucking Saskatchewan.
You're mad. Wait till we get to our next game.
Yeah, but you didn't have any expectations, Rick.
No, but mine is I had 2
Speaking of which, we have our next game of the week. The Toronto Argonauts beat the Hamilton Tiger Cats by a score of 41-28. Rick, unleash the Rickiness.
So here's my thing is how, and I'll try not to pull the Carter, but how the fuck do we beat BC Lions, who's the second? I think they're still second. Yeah, still second best in the West. And then we come home to Labor Day. We don't even show up in the first quarter because we're down 17-0 in the first quarter. We won the second quarter. What did we do? We scored a rouge and a field goal. We won the third quarter, 9-7. Fourth quarter, we lose at 17-15. Defense is nowhere to be fucking found. Once again, nowhere to be found. I honestly don't even know where to begin with this game.
I'll find somewhere. I'm curious.
I mean, Chad Kelly, he had 201 yards, nothing big. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, nothing big. Ouellette threw a 26-yard field or touchdown. Okay. Ouellette had 79 yards, nothing superior. Even like their receiving yards, like nothing jumps out like Dembski does when Dembski had 118. And then it's like sack, fumble recovery. Like they had 5 sacks against us. Our offensive line was terrible, or rushing protection, whatever you want to freaking call it. I mean, Powell did not have a bad game. He had 296 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception.
He went 30 for 42. So I mean, he pretty much went about around 75%. So not terrible.
Mind, 2 of those touchdowns were, as people call it, garbage time. So I still count them regardless if they're garbage time or not.
Touchdown is touchdown. So
I mean, Butler could have had a better game. He only had 63 yards.
Not terrible, but not, I guess, what you would hope from him.
Tim White had 8 for 9 for 110 yards, 1 touchdown.
Yep.
However,
2 touchdowns for Godwin.
I was going to say, in his sophomore season, he's stepped it up. There's one player that I will save for our preview that has kind of been disappointed, but I will save that teaser for our week 15 preview. I think we're going on.
Look at you building anticipation, Rick. Yeah. Look at that.
And I mean, our defense.
I appreciate that.
I honestly don't know what else to say about George Jr. Yep. Like, I'm done with him. I don't know what to make with the whole Cacciatone starting Adeleke at right halfback. I honestly don't even like, this team should not be as bad as it is, defense wise.
No, it really shouldn't, but somehow.
And Legio missed another field goal.
Sounds about right.
The story of our lives.
It's it's funny. You always witnessed my pain, but now like you finally get to feel it. You understand the frustrations that us Bomber fans had with Mark Leggio.
I honestly don't even know what to say about Mark Washington anymore. It's like everything that we did well last week against BC just went over their head this week, and they just completely forgot and just shit the bed.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then I have 3 Argo fans sitting beside me. They know who they are. I'm not going to mention names. And then every touchdown, they they sing their Argos touchdown song. It's like, oh my Lord.
Oh my goodness.
Can this game just end, please? Stop poking the bear and making it worse than what it already is. But
so overall, what's the overall opinion on this game?
I don't know. Something has to be done with our defense, because right now other than
Because, I mean, you had
Ottawa.
a change on the offensive coordinator side of things. So you think that they finally got the offense a little bit on track, but it's the defense that needs to get
Oh, I
fixed
could
up?
spend a
Because, I mean, fair,
I
but let's be fair here. You guys gave up 41 points. It's kind of impossible to win a football game giving up 41.
I could spend a whole hour speaking about how I feel like we did the other day on our Snapchat call. I could
Oh,
spend here a whole hour just talking about how I really think about this game. However, I digress. That's how I feel about tonight's or last week's game.
yeah, I
We
was
have
about to say,
one more to
about
get
to say
into.
last week. And we have one more to get into, which is the Battle of Alberta. The Edmonton Elks come up just short as the Stamps win 35-31. Rick, what do you think about this one?
So Ford blew my mind because he had 137 passing yards, one
And
touchdown.
that play was something.
Not only that, but he has 135 rushing yards. Why even have Kevin Brown on the team anymore? It's pointless.
Yeah.
You don't need him.
Well, it's one of those things where it's really, if it wasn't evident before that Trey Ford was the man that Edmonton needs to go with, certainly is now. He's really just tearing it up, and it's one of those things where it's like, no wonder Chris Jones didn't want him. He's good.
And again, I'm gonna say the same thing with Calgary. Jake Maier, the same thing with Joel Dolagala.
Yep.
He throws 315 yards and no touchdowns. The only way that they got their touchdowns this game were 3 rushing touchdowns.
You're talking for the Stamps,
Stamps, yeah.
and they had just gotten what's his name back in the lineup. That was who was it that they just
Cash,
got? What?
cash and carry.
Or
Cash
what?
and carry.
Or I thought it was
Kadeem
Kadeem. I
Carey.
was about to say Kadeem Carey. I was like, what the fuck's this guy saying?
That's what TSN calls him, cash and carry.
Oh, well, I don't give a shit what TSM calls him. I just call him by his name.
But I mean, like, Eugene Lewis only had 55 yards. Like, what are you going to do with 55 yards?
Well, for Gino Lewis, who's supposed to be like the second best receiver in the league, you're like thinking like, okay, let's get like we want 100 yards out of this guy. So it's one of those things where if he's scoring in the 50s and the 60s, that's kind of it's not really your ideal spot for a guy with the talent of Gino Lewis. So it's one of those things where, all in all, they just couldn't get it done. They got close there. It really seemed like the Elks might get it, but near the end, Calgary would pull through. Is there anything else that we have left for this one?
Nope.
So I'm just gonna make sure. I'm just gonna check here, make sure we covered all of our bases. Actually, one thing that we got that I gotta say is crazy. Calgary solid, just casually getting 22 out of their 35 points in the fourth quarter alone is fucking wild. Like, Edmonton, what are you doing? Like, Edmonton really had this game in the bag, it felt like. But, like, 22 in a single quarter, that's brutal.
That's why no lead is a good lead in that CFL motto.
Yep, no, that's definitely true. And, yeah, so Stamps win 35-31. So let me know what you guys thought of this week's games or last week's games in the comment section down below. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe if you have not already. Make sure if you guys wish, you guys can check this out on Spotify. And later on today, we will be releasing the next week's upcoming preview. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. So take care. Touchdown!